Shalom, this is Amon Yut, Tayak of Piscataway, Sophia Spiritual Light, the Ameru Khan Mariam, and we are here with a cat report. We're a few days behind, so I'm going to catch up in a few videos. This is for November the 13th, 2023, posted at 2:37 p.m. Of course, it is Saturday, November the 18th, 10:45 a.m. at time of recording, and this is the cat report. This is the Babylonian eagle horse lion worshipped by the Radonite fake Jewish, pagan, usury and debt slavery merchant banker pilgrims. Circa 1000 BC, British Radonites founded the city of London and hereditary male peerage in 1067 AD, and of course the British Pilgrim Society, which was founded in 1902. And the crazy part about this is I think we talked about this the other show, but that whole term rad knights, it's like the knights were the Negroes, and that's what we called ourselves, and they're the rads, the not the real ones, the fake ones, the fake Negroes basically. So these people have literally been pretending to be the fake, to be the people of the book, the inheritors of this plane, all the way back to 1000 BC. So, anyway, this thing's been going on a long time. All right. So, if I may add another dimension, it's time to target and shun all complacent and willing order followers. The Pilgrim Society would not be able to implement their evil agendas without their loyal order followers. Time to end relationships with them. Give them no quarter, call them out, or shun them. They are as guilty as traitors, and they walk amongst us. Post Ron Spence on Gab. And I'm going to add something to that. You know, this is exactly what's going on right now. I practice orthodoxy, Orthodox Christianity, but I have decided I'm not going to be baptized, and I'm not going to get my kids baptized. And I'll attend services and participate at the level they allow me to, but you have to separate yourself from people who are willing order followers. And what I'm finding is that a lot of people who practice orthodoxy, even though, especially those who were baptized in, have never had to experience world outside of orthodoxy, they have no capability of compassion for people like me who are philosophers. I studied, I come from Protestantism, but I studied Christian Science. I went to a Christian Science church for a while. Of course, I studied anthroposophy with Thomas and all his videos, and I looked into a lot of different religions. I gathered information from a lot of places, and so they want someone like me, and this is my experience, especially with the online ortho bros. They want someone, and even at the actual church that I attend, they want someone like me to simplify my philosophy so that I can be comfortable inside the four walls of the church. And I refuse to do that. And we have to, and I say that all the time. Oh yeah, I practice orthodoxy, but I ain't into religion. I'm just not into religion. And you can't make me be in a religion. There's nothing said, oh, I can't partake in the mysteries. I don't need the mysteries. I got mysteries every single day, stuff that I can't explain that are mysterious to me. You got to get baptized to have mysteries unfolded to you. And this is no offense to any Orthodox practicing person, but I'm just saying this is what we have to do across the board. It's the same thing with, these people in these fraternities and these sororities. We have to, as far as black people are concerned, we got to shun these people because they think it's okay for them to have their little secrets and stuff that they do and stuff that they know, and always protecting their brother and this and that. Meanwhile, you got this whole situation with Diddy and Cassie and all this stuff, and everybody knew everything and nobody ever said anything because it's a big club and you're not in it. But there's people who could speak up and say something and prevent this stuff from keeping happening, especially to the children, and they don't. They just sit back and they let it happen. And they say, well, I tried. No, you didn't actually. You didn't try. You didn't help. You didn't anything. You thought that your righteousness was more important than that soul that you let be traumatized by these wicked people. So that's really what it's about. If you speak up, you give that person an opportunity not to be traumatized by these wicked people. And if you say nothing, you're just complacent with the trauma, and that's fine. If you can live with yourself, I cannot live with myself like that. Period. So, here we go. Too late to apologize. A declaration. This is something somebody will put on YouTube. Next up, the video below is worth a watch. So if you don't have time right now, bookmark it for later. Too bad the rabbi doesn't know about the synagogue of Satan, aka the Babylonian Red Knights, aka what do I call them? Professional Victims Unit. 1 and 2, actually. I do hope that Thomas and Bessie do get to the Professional Victims Unit number 2, which is these Indians, quote unquote, invaders, the same ones that they're sending up from south of the border right now, who pretended to be the people who were already here, which were my people, the Negroes, the people of the book, literally. Translated in so many different Indian dialects as the people. So don't forget, the reason why American, which I call American is in the situation it's in is because it made this deal with the, it made this deal with the quote unquote 5 civilized tribes, and those 5 civilized tribes were not even people who were native to this land. They came up from South America, just like they're doing now. So they're going to make another treaty with those same people that they brought up from the last time, and they're going to pretend like they don't have to do anything with the quote-unquote native people of this land. And this is where the problem is going to continue to come into play. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We have toddler temper tantrum time right now. Who's big enough to be a football player for University of Miami right now. Anyway, it's on Odyssey. You might not be able to find it on YouTube. So just when you get a chance, come into this post and check out this video. Of course, if you want to catch up on the CAT report, get it delivered directly to your inbox, go to aimfortruth.org and sign up. Sign up for the CAT reports, and they'll be delivered directly to your inbox. Okay. This should come as no surprise for Bible students and followers of Jesus Christ. The synagogue of Satan, I'm not going to laugh. Okay. The synagogue of Satan has been hiding themselves as Jews for thousands of years. In modern times, we call this synagogue the Babylonian Radanites. The synagogue of Satan, their father is the devil. The synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, but do lie. That's Revelation 3 and 9. I know the blasphemy of those saying themselves to be Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. That's Revelation 2 and 9. You are of your father, the devil, and you want to do the desires of your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and doesn't stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. That's John 8 and 44. Here we go. Just then, Hamas has lost control of Gaza and has no force capable of stopping the IDF. The IDF has taken over the Hamas Legislative Council building. This comes from Disclosed TV. All right. Nada Doc says his mom caught wind of those pics showing him injured in Gaza online and sprinted over like she was in a marathon. He wakes up, no bandages, fake blood, does a grand reveal with 0 injuries. It's all just an Oscar-worthy performance for the camera. Seems like Hamas is splurging on actors to play dead or injured and blame it on that other place over there. Right. So this is from Nada Doc. Ooh, that's Jimmy Levine. I can't even describe this picture, y'all. You gotta look at the screen in order to see it. I cannot describe it. Here we go. More lies and propaganda from this Zero Hedge from Washington Post article. Cats know who's behind Nord Stream destruction. This vile pedo creep with his bloop Whipping Privy Council, Bloodthirsty, Pilgrim Society, and usury death called Babylonian Radanites. WAPO drops bombshell on the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage narrative. A Ukrainian colonel covert ops in the CIA shadow. And this is an article from Washington Post. The globalists are freaking out this weekend's huge protests all over the world. Bigger than Trump rallies. No apparent cult leaders, and yet everyone in lockstep. Join the next protest or organize your own. Make the crowds twice the size and tell the Satanists to get behind us. Of course, you know that there's all these ridiculous protests. All right. Netanyahu, Israel to take over security in Gaza after the Israel-Hamas war. They have to bring back the old team, David Cameron and Tony Blair, to manage their British-created Israel problem. Former UK Prime Minister David Cameron made foreign minister in surprise political comeback. Listen, this... No, I'm not going to get into it. I cannot believe... You know what? All right. Here we go. Let me just keep reading. Israel is seeking to install former British Prime Minister Tony Blair as a humanitarian coordinator for the Gaza Strip, according to a report Sunday, out of a desire to improve the humanitarian situation inside the Palestinian enclave and reduce international pressure as it continues to wage its war on Hamas. Basically, they have to put somebody in there in order to gatekeep, because if not, what's going to happen when you've got these people protesting, and it's not, nobody's saying anything about it, where they're getting their information from or anything. And so they got to put one of their people in there to protect what they call their property. This is about land rights. They think that they own these people. See, because I've been looking in also to land patents, right? Because a lot of people who came to the Americas, especially North America, especially American, they were given land patents. So like, I'm from Maryland. So that guy, Lord Baltimore, which wasn't even his name, he never stepped foot in Maryland. And yet he was given a land patent to manage Maryland. He managed Maryland from Britain. He sent his brother and his wife. Wife's name's Anne Arundel. All the stuff in Maryland is named after these. So much stuff in this place is named after these people, right? And so, that reminds me of another story. But let me finish this part. So I was just looking into this whole thing with the land patent. So going back, before that, the guy William Penn, who was a quote unquote, what do they call him? I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull the information out. He was just a person who owned a shop, a shopkeeper, a businessman in Pennsylvania, right? William Penn. In order for him to get the property, he made a deal with that guy, Tammany. Now, based on my research, Tammany may not have even been a real person. Or if he was a real person, he is what the natives, my people would call him, hold on, I got the word, Nappy Cowan. He was a Nappy Cowan. Okay? That is the white men that were traitors. Because they did not behave within the social standards and norms of the Blackfoot people. And so, if anything, so that would be William Penn. He's a Nappy Cowan. And then amongst the Nappy Cowans, there was almost always one person who looked different. They called them Sixapequins. And these are the one token black that was amongst the group of white people, or what do they just call them? Traitors. There's always one black person amongst these white traitors. They called them the Sixapequin. And the Sixapequin, they acted just like the regular traitors, the other white traitors, which was totally against what the native people were doing. And it is my belief that Tammany was one of these Sixapequins. If he existed at all, which I cannot be sure that he existed. But if he existed at all, he was a Sixapequan. He was just a black face amongst white people, and he was the one who signed this deal with William Penn to actually turn over the rights of all of the people who were already there and have them pledge allegiance to Penn and basically to the crown forever. If you look up Tammany and read his story, and remember Tammany, he was quote unquote made the quote unquote saint of America, which is insane. And then because he was never canonized at all, not even amongst the Indians. It was the American traders who canonized him, made him a saint, used his name Tammany for a parish in Louisiana to calm down the Creoles and the Seminoles, who never would have allowed those white people, those traders, those, I call them colonizers, to come in and colonize their home. But they invoke Tammany in order to make that happen. So here you have the same thing going on. They think, okay, well, everybody's got good feelings about Tony Blair. Let's call him in. We gotta same thing they tried to do with Obama. And this is crazy. This was the other part I want to source since Obama's coming up next. We had actually this is well, where I'm from, there was a school called Lord Baltimore Academy, right? And they changed the name from Lord Baltimore Academy to Isaac J. Gourdine, right? And the guy Isaac J. Gourdine, he actually died in a car crash. He was in a car with a woman named Marilyn Bland, who he was having an affair with. And they were going somewhere, and they got into a car crash, and he died. And he was, I can't remember what he was in the city. I mean, in the county. He had some kind of official position in the county, and so they renamed that school Lord Baltimore Academy after him. This was at the same time they built a new school in the county and named it after Obama. So they're still trying to tie us Aborigine Negroes in with these Sixapequans, these people who look like us, but they don't carry the same behavior as we do. And this is what Kamala is. She kind of looks like us, but she doesn't carry the behaviors of an actual Aborigine person. And that's what the whole demonic nine, I call them, and these fraternities and sororities, they are designed to make sure that their Sixapequans can fit in amongst the groups of the Aborigine blacks, so that they can be given the spiritual power over us, which is insane. That's why, if you didn't know, Kamala is also an AKA. Why would? Anyway, I'm gonna keep moving. All right. Obama outed as shadow president secretly orchestrating Hamas Israel false flag. This is someone's analysis of what's going on. This is a video that's on BitChute if you're interested. Of course, the link is in the actual article here. All right. The globalists are absolutely freaking out at the size of the pro-Palestine protests all across the world. They are going to use UNESCO to control social media networking. Good luck with that. We know how difficult it is to herd cats. UNESCO's Director General unveils a multi-stakeholder plan to safeguard social media platforms from disinformation, hate speech, and conspiracy theories for the common good. The blurring of this is a statement from UNESCO's General Director, Audrey Azoulay. The blurring of boundaries between true and false, the highly organized denial of scientific facts, the amplification of disinformation and conspiracies, these did not originate on social networks, but in the absence of regulation, they flourish there much better than the truth. Only by taking the full measure of this technological revolution can we ensure it does not sacrifice human rights, freedom of expression, and democracy. For information to remain a common good, we must reflect and act now together. Middle finger to you, lady. Okay. Will we soon hear stories like these, but in reference to the traitors in Congress? Biden family attacked in D.C. Secret Service opens fire. Joe on lockdown. DC a failed state. Listen, DC is a failed state because you cannot drive your car in DC without being carjacked. If you park your car, they're literally going to break into it if they don't just steal the wheels off of it. DC is a failed state because the crime, well, technically, the ancestors of all of those, all of my people who they brutally murdered and sacrificed are awakened, and they're coming back through these young children. You have kids as young as 8 carjacking in DC. Armed carjacking, not just carjacking, armed carjacking, robbing people all over the city. Before they only did that in the outskirts. Now they're like downtown on the federal part doing, they don't care. If you're 8 years old, first of all, they won't prosecute them. This is the reason why they don't care. There's no prosecution for this. These ancestors are just glad to be able to get some, whatever, vengeance. All right, so this is a Trumpy. What is Magenta Page? Stormfire Gnome. We're gonna call him Stormfire Gnome. This is one of his posts. Fulton County, Georgia acknowledges in a major consent decree that 3,600 individual ballots were duplicated. That's 36 batches. That's a lot of crime. When are the rest of the facts coming out? We are all waiting. This is just beginning. Unbelievable. And y'all know this. Lord, it's way more than that. And then the people said no. The end. That's true. This is a nice post from Valentinas. I am convinced now that the only way to make sure the PTB never succeeded is by educating their army of law enforcement at every level, from local security and police to the military and cyber facilitators. Without them, they are meaningless. We must make sure their enforcers know what awaits them and all humanity by playing their game for a paycheck that won't last. We must all do our part and educate whoever of them is within our reach. Target these people specifically and turn them back on the side of we the people as it is meant to be. Every single one of us has access to someone, either an IRS agent, a programmer, a doctor, a police officer, a sheriff, a marine, a soldier, even a banker who might refuse to give you your savings, or a store owner or manager who refuses to take your cash. There are many types and levels of enforcers. They need to impose their agenda, and they simply can't do it without them. Forget the politicians and the media. They are only minions, the useful idiot talking heads. What say you? We can all do a little or a lot, even cover all the bases and literally disarm the enemy by specifically targeting their army of enforcers, who will always be one of us and never one of them. Listen, another thing is to call them out by name. These people are colonizers. Listen, I know a lot of people on the right don't like that term, but it's the truth. These are the colonizers. They're not just enforcers. They're literally colonizers. They're colonizing your money. They're colonizing they're taking it over. Look up what colonizer means. Look up a colony. What is a colony? These people come in and they pretend like they're in charge, and they've been given no actual power. That's what they are. They don't have any real power. The power comes from within us, the people. They have no power if there's no people. And so the fact that they're pretending to have power is ridiculous. You have to stand up and tell them. They're colonizers. Plus, they don't like that term. Yeah, no. They don't like that term. Implementing digital public infrastructure safely and inclusively. I don't think so. Okay, bad idea. Still waiting for the military to defend the United States of America from treason. Here we go. U.S. Marines stand down and do nothing as taxpayers continue to fund their operations and America continues to fall to domestic enemies. Sadly, this bunch of aren't in the bids to protect America from the traitors in Congress. And then we've got some more memes here, which I can't even describe them. You just have to take a look at this on the screen. Of course, go to Aim for Truth to get the whole article. All right, just making it easier for you to stop the traitors in Congress. Are they making and passing laws that are repugnant to the Constitution? If so, put your selected representative on notice. Thomas Jefferson called the 10th Amendment the foundation of the 10th Amendment, the foundation of the Constitution. And this is a video here from YouTube on the 10th Amendment. Before you place any of these wireless devices on or under your skin. Do your research on WBAN. All right. So this is an article, a video you might want to take a look at. Do I go out of my way to piss people off? Trust me, it's not out of my way at all. All right. Gold and silver are constitutional money for a reason. Synagogue of Satan tricked us into using fake money loaded with usury bombs. Jesus Christ warned of the synagogue of Satan when he overturned the tables of the money changers. There you go. This is another meme here. And they're taking all the money. And the person says, why do you have funny last names? All right. The Second Amendment doesn't just cover firearms. This is a video from YouTube you might want to take a look at. This is the first good step. The second step is to take out the traitors and invaders. Protect your family, your homestead, and America because the U.S. Marines are AWOL. This is another meme here about Thomas Massie and his family, and they're all armed to the teeth. And we got a video, a glass bead from Ron Spence, which is One Republic, Truth to Power, with the lyrics, which is interesting. So here we go, guys. This has been our cat report. Again, this is for the 17th. Let's scroll back to the top. Hopefully this doesn't get taken down. Oh, this is from the 13th. I'm sorry. This is from the 13th. Oh, of November. Please go out. Go to aimfortruth.org. Sign up. Get these delivered directly to your inbox every day. I'm going to actually try to get these done when I see them. It's just been a very, very busy week in school land. So, thank you all for listening. And of course, we will catch you in the next video.